Welcome to Draw One Last Breath Horror Podcast. My name's Matt.
I'm Butch.
I'm Geordie Paul.
Welcome to episode 172. On this episode, we will be watching Street Trash. Our movie from the vault is Sisters. How are you guys doing?
I'm awesome. I am literally balls deep in WWE at the moment. So, yeah, that's like my complete world at the moment. Yeah, I'm loving Netflix again.
I'm not balls deep in anything, so.
I did watch one movie. That's the thing. I really need. I need an intervention. But I did watch one movie. It's not really a horror, which kind of sucks. But I did watch Pig with Nicolas Cage. It's different, is what all I would say. It's not what I thought it was going to be. You know, his pig gets stolen, and then he's on the hunt for it. But it's not what I thought. But it goes in a very interesting direction, and I thoroughly enjoyed it and thoroughly recommend it. So it's a good start to the year watching that one. But yeah, that's it.
Oh, well, I've got only one as well. So on your boy's recommendation, particularly Matt's, I watched It's What's Inside.
Ah, finally.
Yeah, so I checked that out. Kind of started, and I thought, I'm not going to like this. But by the end of it, I was well into it. It was a really, really good idea. I kind of thought I had it pegged before the end, and then kind of the twist got me, which was good. I thought some of it though was a bit daft. I mean, the fall from sort of the lovely woman at the start to an absolute horrible person at the end was quite dramatic. But I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. Had fun with it. So yeah, thanks for that recommendation. But that was it, guys. I did watch the Christopher Reeve documentary, which was quite emotional, and there's kind of horror in that, what happened to him. But yeah, that's worth checking out, guys.
Where did you watch that?
It was on Sky. Sky
Right.
documentaries. I think it's on demand at the minute. So, but that's definitely worth a watch. So.
Yeah, I'm wanting to watch that.
Brilliant.
Is that for a Golden Globe and stuff, wasn't it?
Well, you guys have been not watching much. I've been watching loads. So I rewatched Long Legs with the wife.
Nice.
She hasn't seen it, so that was quite cool to watch that in a second time.
What did she think?
Yeah, she liked it. Yeah, she really liked it. But then I watched kind of a couple of other movies, not horror per se, but I watched a film called Night Moves, which is fucking crazy. It's definitely got horror elements in it, that's for sure. If you get a chance, you should try and check it out, because I really, really think you guys would dig it. It's got Gene Hackman in it, and it's a kind of like a thrillery kind of thing, but it's really worth watching because it is brilliant in it. Then I watched another movie which I've never seen before, and it's from 1985 called After Hours.
I've heard of that.
Have you guys ever seen this film?
No.
Mate, you guys need to go and watch it because it's crazy. It's a Martin Scorsese film. I've never even heard of it. And then it was I bought it at work in the sale. I think it was in the Criterion sale. It was cheap, and I thought I'll just give it a whirl. And oh my god, it's like, like watching like Night of the Comet and stuff like that. It was like one of those films where you watch it and you're like, oh my god, I love this film. It's fucking brilliant. It's crazy, but it's brilliant, and it's got so many actors you all know in the movie. But anyway, proper horror that I did watch. I watched Beazle.
Beazle?
Beazle?
No, I have heard of that. How did that go?
It's a bit of a witch movie. So primarily it's about this house, and there's a thing around it saying that there's a witch inside. All the kids around where they live reckon there's a witch that lives inside, and it goes through. It's kind of like, it's not really an anthology, but it goes through the eras. So it starts in the 80s, then it goes to the 90s, and then the 2000s, and it just follows this kind of story of a witch that supposedly lives in this place. It's definitely worth a watch. It's got a bit of like found footage to it, not loads though, but it's really, really crazy, and it's got a bit of a mad ending, which was very good. Definitely worth a watch. And the final thing, I finally watched stop motion.
Oh,
Hey,
cool.
what did you
What do you think?
Oh, mate. Why didn't we put this in our top 10?
Oh, dickhead.
No, it was really good. It's nice to see, kind of British accents in a horror movie, which was quite refreshing. Yeah, what a weird little movie. Really, if I had one word to sum it up, it'd be squelchy.
Yeah.
really squelchy.
The sound in it is unbelievable, and it's just gross. But then, yeah, so like the stop motion is insane. Like it's very, very clever and very slick, and yeah, I enjoyed it. And it's really dark. I didn't think it was going to go that dark, but it did.
Did you get Censor and St. Maud vibes out of it?
Yeah, definitely. I'd say more St. Maud kind of vibes. Yeah, it was really dark. But
I want to see more of that this year. I want to see something fucking nuts like that. Really out there.
It was. People need to really go and seek it down because, crazy. And it was a BFI movie as well, right?
Yeah.
Which was crazy.
Oh, yes, you bloody like it.
Yeah, really good. Really good.
Right, so we get on to some news. There is some big news. We've got to say a big round of applause to Matt. You're going to have to say a name. Coraline Frogwa. I didn't get that right at all.
Carly Fajit.
Carly Fajit. From who did The Substance last year. Obviously, it's doing its rounds at the fucking award season this year, which is fantastic. But we've already had the Golden Globes, haven't we? And Demi Moore won. So that's an absolute triumph for horror. I mean, they've still got to review those bloody categories, but yeah, that was wicked to see that. Well bloody done.
Well, from that to some really, really awful news, to be honest. It's literally just sort of broke in the last couple of hours, but we have to say a big rest in peace to the one, the only David Lynch.
Oh, that's a big one.
Been announced today he passed away, 78-year-old. Obviously was in quite ill health and stepped away from filming quite recently, wasn't it? It was sort of last year. And obviously has made some standout films. Very Marmite director. You either love him or you just don't. I don't think there's any middle ground with David Lynch, but obviously.
The first one of his I saw was Mulholland Drive. And you're going to tell me that. And you're going to tell me that's not fucking David Lynch now, aren't you?
It is David Lynch.
Yeah. I've still got big love for Dune.
Yeah, have you ever watched, what's it called? I'll come back to me.
Eraserhead?
No, well, Eraserhead is just as much, but there's another one.
I wasn't a fan of Eraserhead, I'll be honest. Controversial, I know, but...
My mum was a massive Twin Peaks fan. I've watched like bits. It's nauseating, which is probably what it's supposed to do. But it's just, I know, there's a lot of David Lynch fans out there. And I probably need to go all around the back catalogue and probably go through it and have a look and just have a bit of go down a Lynchian rat hole, I think, for a while.
Oh, it might take you a while to come out of that one, Paul. Inland Empire is the one I was thinking of.
Right.
Never seen that.
A crazy film. Absolutely mad. Still don't know what it's about. So I couldn't tell you what it's about. Rest in peace, David.
Pull one out.
Okay, well, I watched a trailer for a movie called Until Dawn. Has anyone seen the trailer?
I played the computer game.
Is this the one that's like got controversy around it? Because a lot of the computer game fans are going nuts about stuff, apparently.
What, as in it's not being true to the game or something like that?
Apparently there's some sort of issues with it, yeah.
I mean, I've never played the game. I never knew it was a video game until I sort of read what was going on about it. Trailer itself looks really, really interesting. It's a group of teenagers go into a house and they sort of get killed over and over and over again by more and more terrifying things. I guess that's the game. Probably didn't include the monsters or something from they probably weren't right or blah, 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 but I'm not.
A setup for. I think in the game you're like a protagonist that goes to investigate where they've gone, and this probably shows you what happened to them. So I think that's
different take on it. But it's a movie, so it's not a video game. Get over it. I don't know. I've never played it, so but it looks fun. But it's probably a reason for that, because it looks scary as balls. So
have you seen? Have you seen the Alien 3 pop final?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one in the shower scene one is quite cool. So yeah.
Do you guys own any of those sorts of pops? Like the sort of they're like set pops, I suppose, or scene pops.
Scene, yeah. It's like a scene from I don't think I do. I've got a Star Wars one. But horror ones, I don't think I've got any. I've got some Back to the Future ones, but yeah, no horror ones.
I've got a Michael Corleone sitting in his chair from The Godfather.
Oh yeah.
So that's a good film. You should watch that one.
Don't know that film. Never seen it. No, I'm being serious. I've never seen it. But anyway, that's another story. I've got a little bit of news. Hot off the press, just dropped, literally. So, Joel McHale will play Sidney Prescott's husband in Scream 7. So yeah, that's literally just come out. Deadline reports that Joel McHale has been cast as the final girl's husband, Mark Evans. Currently in production in Atlanta, Scream 7 sees the return of Neve Campbell as Sidney, Courtney Cox as Gail Weathers, Mason Gooding as Chad Meeks, Martin and Roger Al Jackson as the voice of Ghostface is back. So yeah, that's an interesting cast, because he's normally always a wrong un. So
but then he was hilarious in Community. I'm sorry, I'm a massive Community fan. So.
Have you seen? There's a new Gremlins and Goonies movies in development with Warner Brothers, with Christopher Columbus attached to one or both of them. So that could be quite cool.
To be both, but I don't think Goonies needs to be touched. Let's be honest.
I know.
No, I haven't seen. Have you guys seen the animated Gremlins stuff? I haven't watched any of it, but apparently that's what's kicked it off, is like the popularity of that. But again, I haven't really heard much noise about it. Don't even know where you could watch it, to be honest. I might look into it, might not.
That usually means it's on Paramount.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. If I haven't seen it, or I can't access it, then yeah, it's on Paramount, because I refuse to get it at the moment because little one wants it.
Whatever happens, if they do make these, it's guaranteed, whether it's crap or not, it's guaranteed to get bums on seats, and make absolute millions. So whatever happens, it will be. But I just, I don't know. I don't want
to kickstart this whole thing again. So.
I don't know. I don't want to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy and say, does it really need to be messed with?
Absolutely not. But I think Gremlins would be one that you could think,
they
should make Gremlins 3.
Yeah.
They should make Gremlins 3, not Gremlins reboot. Just make 3, the same puppets, the same style, move it on. Get the same actors in it. But yeah,
those puppets are a lot of money, mate.
Puppets.
Yeah, but the amount of money they're going to make, they got no excuses.
Yeah, because you just go and watch Gremlins 1 and 2. Because don't reboot it for the latest generation of kids. Because they'll all watch Gremlins and love it. So just do 3.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I've got a couple of bits, guys. Just Fede Alvarez has come out and he's confirmed that he's developing the next Alien, or the sequel to Alien Romulus script.
See what they said about it, though.
Yeah, didn't he also say something about Alien Romulus, tidying up Alien Romulus for because there was
they've done that
for the release for the
physical release. They've touched up Ian Holmes' CG. But
Easy. Okay.
yeah, I've never seen it obviously, but apparently it's out there now. Like he went away and made the studio spend loads of money on tidying the CG up after the fan feedback because it was the one sticking point.
Yeah, it's slightly
for
off,
me,
isn't it?
The biggest sticking point was saying, "Get away from her, you bitch." They should have took that out of the film.
If I moaned about anything, that probably would be the only thing. Like if I had a bit of a grade, it's a bit too on the nose, wasn't it? But apparently with this next one, he's really pushed the boat out on saying, I'm going to do things and take it into a direction that hasn't been done before. So that's interesting. So see what happens. Watch this space. I'm well excited for the TV show as well, though, I'll be honest, because that could be really interesting.
Yeah, and then the last big guys I saw was Marvel Zombies TV show. It's got a kind of tentative release date for October this year.
Okay.
So, cool. It's obviously animated. I'm probably in the style of What If, but that What If episode is by far and away the best one I ever did. So, I don't thought that TV series should be cool.
Nice.
And it's been given a mature rating as well. So, it should have a bit more guts in it than What If did.
All for a bit more guts.
Which will bring us nicely onto our movie.
Okay, so let's get on to our main review.
Bring in volunteer number 85.
I'm still going to get paid.
Volunteers receiving a dose of synthesized
Please don't put that
substrate
needle in me.
B282.
No, stop. Wait.
Citywide curfew is now in effect. You are ordered to remain in your homes and off the streets. Failure to comply will result in prosecution.
It's the 8th consecutive year of Mayor Mustard. Will he be re-elected?
Mayhem in the city. Homeless are fighting against the government. People are fighting for their rights.
What the fuck? There's another one! Go!
No babies.
I present to you the crew, the most incredible crackheads that you'll ever meet. I have reduced the number of homeless people in the city to basically zero.
The mayor's fucking melting people.
They're exterminating everybody. You are finally ready, my China. It's time.
We don't want this party turning into a massacre.
Massacre sounds good to me!
Fucking good, come here!
Right, this episode's main review, we are lucky enough to get a screener from Stripe Media, Street Trash, Ryan Kruger from Fried Barry's Street Trash. I mean, it's I'll give it a little bit of a synopsis if you like. A group of homeless misfits must fight for survival when they discover a plot to exterminate every homeless person in the city. I mean, 1986, I think it was, the original Street Trash came out. They do have a little bit of a line towards it, so this is a kind of a remake, not a remake, a kind of a sequel, really, isn't it, Matt?
Follow on, yeah.
Yeah, it is a follow on. Probably going to be one of my favourite things that I've watched this year, I think. I'm very happy with this screener, and I had a great time watching this movie. It was fun. But let's hear from Paul. Let's get your early thoughts on Street Trash. Have you seen the original?
I have. I did the podcast.
Yeah.
It was one of my guest appearances. And, I think you guys had yet to sunk your teeth into me with this shit, so I think I was pretty much damning on it. Because it was like the film trauma forgot, essentially. So, Did it need a remake? No. Should it have had a remake? No. Did I enjoy this film?
No.
Oh, sorry. Does it need a sequel? No. But you must have done something to me, because actually I had a really good time with this as well.
Matt, what about you? What do you think?
Mate, all I can say is, this is not street trash. This is street gold, mate. Absolutely brilliant. It was something I needed to restore everything about low budget, special, like practical effects, fucking funny, absolutely crazy, batshit, bonkers, colours are vibrant, quippy one-liners, fucking absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved this film. I will be buying it on Blu-ray.
100%. The artwork's incredible.
Oh my God.
It looks gorgeous. The posters are immense. I want a poster for my wall. Right. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about this street trash, because you will start hearing about this movie a lot more, because there's a lot to
it's coming out physical in February.
Yeah, and it's been getting a lot of traction for not just for the great special effects and the nuttiness, but also like the sort of poking at the political on the noseness, I think, is really quite interesting as well. But this movie is essentially, like we said, it's like a group of bums, one named Ronald, chef, and they meet this lass called Alex, and it's sort of like just buffoonery. Like the original Street Trash, they sort of manipulating whatever happened and made everyone melt. They kind of made it airborne, and it's kind of just like a lot of quippy one-liners, them sort of bumbling into stuff, getting rounded up, and then just sort of, I mean, if you've seen Fried Barry and you understand the sort of absolutely insanity of, and the South Africanness of it as well is so
perfect.
Oh, so perfect. It's absolutely brilliant. It's just so much fun. It's like every beat, like we have, I don't know, I can't even think of like a modern day B movie.
See, when I watched it, it gave me those feelings of like Bad Taste and all that sort of stuff, like big time. I was like, oh, this makes me feel like I'm watching one of those again. And this is the sort of film that we need, because all those youngins are going to go out there, hopefully, and see it and go, and it'll be their kind of like Bad Taste movie. That it's just this weird, crazy stuff that you don't really get often nowadays. It's just like no holds barred. I mean, there's people's cocks getting fucking cut off, blood splurting everywhere. It's just really.
The only things I can sort of liken to it that I thought I would be worth doing it is the Joe Begas of it, like the VFW, maybe not Bliss, but definitely sort of Christmas Bloody Christmas.
Yeah.
I know there's a bit more raw,
that,
but it does have that sort of like
that punk rock about
punkiness and anarchy of it all, and like the dirty filmmaking, but also it works in every way. It's not Sci-Fi Channel. This is kind of like it's a different. They need to invent like a different channel for this.
They must have spent a lot of money on this, man. Loads. They must have spent so much on special effects, because it just keeps going and going every 5 seconds. It's mental.
Yeah, like they just explode people constantly. Right, I want to know from Paul what was going through your mind watching this one, because there's a lot of like goo and stuff and silliness.
I'll tell you, lads, at the start I was like, oh, this is going to be a nightmare for me to sit through. I genuinely did. Obviously there was, right at the start, there's a great like skin coming off, and like obviously explosions. Yeah, I get it. It's kind of started, and the chase through the slums, and even though it was funny with his cock getting caught in showering him with Viagra and then his cock getting caught in the gate, I was a bit like, this is going to be a slog if this is what it's like for 2 hours. And then I kind of what really the charm of it. Obviously, you guys like practical effects and things blowing up everywhere, brilliant, right? But I really just want to pull it back a bit, right? And actually, it was really, really. See, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it was so well written. I thought the dialogue between all the bums was brilliant. I thought the jokes were just popping left, right, and centre and really landing very well. I mean, there was one thing they were talking about. They just lost a battery, and then they're like, right, well, let's go to bed. It's like, oh, there's a bed over there for you to stay in, and there's a dildo, but no battery. And I just thought it was brilliant. I just thought it was really well done. And then obviously they're going along, and then Sokol turned up.
Yeah. With the little blue alien.
2 bits vision.
2 bits imaginary friend, which was just the MVP of the film. So yeah, by that time it had kind of hooked us in, and then I kind of thought it lost a bit towards the end, genuinely, like of that kind of thing. But obviously as the action kind of took over, but the bits where they were talking and the dialogue was really snappy, and I just thought it was like a really crude, gory version of District 9 in the end. And I was on board.
The funniest bits for me was when they were talking about like Peter Pan being a paedophile. It's just genius. It's
the
fucking
waffle conversations, I think they were just absolutely spot on. And even like, was it Orly or Orloff or Ogley? The fucking cameraman.
Offley.
The cameraman was involved. You know? Just the
fucking love that.
I loved it where it's like, oh, what was it? How you doing? And he's just like...
all you see is his fun.
Soko's dead, and it's like...
Because I thought later on, they're really going to do like a real, like, what was that POV film where the whole film was shot POV?
Guns Akimbo? No.
What, no. Violent Nature?
No, well, no, that was, yeah, but no, there was one before that, I can't remember, it was bloody called now, is it Henry? Oh, I can't remember, something like that.
Hardcore Henry.
Hardcore Henry, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were going to go full on that at the end, where it was just be like his vision of him just fucking killing people. And it did a little bit, because it went to like him fighting people, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just fighting people like left, right and centre. But even like the 2 twins, it's just like, who've got to be modelled kind of loosely on Cheech and Chong. They were fucking hilarious as well, just nutty. I thought it was really...
It's just when they kept revealing themselves in the room. It's like, how many bums are there in there? And it was just literally like, oh, there you go. His scream when she's like, walks past him in the rubbish tip was hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
And then he was like, he jumped out of the settee because the other guy farted on him. Yeah, definitely. Very, very funny.
The blood, the gore, the bursting of the balloons, the colours that was coming out of their flesh, it was just absolutely fantastic. And also, like, it was like had some heart as well. They lost friends along the way, and the way they dealt with that was quite interesting. The fact that, you know, it was the government basically trying to clean up the scum of and get rid of, like, basically the wrong bit of town, you know, in any means possible.
I did like the plan sequence where they were doing the plan the drone. I thought it was really well done. I thought it was really well shot, really well. I mean, it's ripped directly from like Ant-Man, 100%. But I just thought it was really well shot.
I'm sure someone's done it before Ant-Man, though. I'm sure.
Well, probably, yeah. But it's like, he'll be crouched. I can't crouch. Look at the medical condition. He'll be stood. Oh, no, I can't do that either.
Where am I now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was utter batshit and in such a good way. And Fried Barry, I loved Fried Barry. I thought that was just weird and wonderful. But
what was his little goblin friend called again?
The 2-bit.
2 bits little goblin friend?
Suckle.
Like a sock.
Oh, Suckle. I thought it was suckle as in sucking.
He's a dirty little bastard, wasn't he?
Do you know that's the voice of the director?
Yeah. Do you know what? I watched it and I did obviously know that, but I went, I bet you that's the director. And it was. I was like, yeah, in the credits. I waited for the credits to roll. It's just that type of thing.
He was doing a Q&A. They were putting it at the Prince Charles, like I think it was last week, and they were doing a showing of it with the director and with a Q&A afterwards. That would be pretty fun to talk to.
I thought even the drug dealer character was quite cool.
Yeah. Did you notice the scene where the bum steals the booze off him and then drinks it and dies? That was from the original, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right, correct. Yeah. There was little nods, weren't there, like the riot gear police and there was also obviously the fact that they were talking about that they'd found it from the incident that happened in 1986 and stuff like that. And there's loads of little nods.
There was no vampires or Vietnam lesbian vampires.
Shame. But maybe in Street Trash 2. It's the time.
I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does next.
Yeah.
Because it's been a couple of years since Fried Barry, and if they spent the time doing this right with the practical effects, what's coming on next? This will get a bit of traction, and they get something cool.
I hope so.
And yeah, I know I was talking about like there's nothing like terrifying. There isn't really, and still it's different. They're different. Terrified's a lot more grimy. This is more fun. And, and probably more grindhouse, I suppose, more than anything.
I think it's risky as well, though, because, the content in it, you've got to just be risky and you just got to go for it. There's a lot of fucking things in it that probably isn't socially accepted nowadays, but maybe we need a little bit of that,
Well, we need to laugh. We need to laugh. We need to be able to laugh at ourselves.
I mean, not to get us wrong, I don't think there was anything particularly, massively original in there, lads. But it did what it said on the tin, and it did it well.
Yeah. 100%.
Colour me surprised.
Well, they had a steelbook of this out, but there was only 3,000 copies made.
Oh, well, that's a missed opportunity there, isn't it?
Shame.
This is a good start to the year, lads.
Loved it. I thought it was bloody brilliant.
This may already be in my top 10 of the year.
All right, don't prematurely
definitely better than Nosferatu.
Definitely on the same different levels of Nosferatu. I can't really say that.
Much more fun.
Okay. Well, yeah, there's no fun. Where's the fun in Nosferatu? Good year.
Credits.
Good.
With skinny legs at the end.
Good couple of movies so far. And, how would you rate this bad boy then?
9 out of 10.
What you say?
9 out of 10.
Yeah, it's going 9 for me, 100%.
Well, it's not getting that high, lads. I mean, I enjoyed it, but Jesus. No, I'm going to give it a 7. Well, don't boo me. That's still... what score did you think it was going to get from me today?
I thought we might... Well, okay. Slowly. We're turning you around.
Well, you've done something to us, but I could imagine myself sitting at Fright Fest and pissing myself laughing.
Yeah, if you were at Fright Fest, you would have come out and you would have been like a 10. No. But it's got the same score as the Invisible Raptor did off us, which it kind of reminded me a bit of that, where it was just it was funny. It was done well for what it is. And I enjoyed it, guys. So brilliant.
For this is my wheelhouse. I love it. Next movie for 2025 is going to be Lee Whannell's Wolfman. So we're going to get his take on another Universal monster, which is going to be quite interesting. So
let's see if you can get 2 for 2.
Yeah. Yes. I'm expecting.
If he smashes it with this one, he's just going to be like the Universal monster's go-to man, and that's it. He's just going to do everything.
Well, I heard a little interview with him earlier in the week and he mentioned the Invisible Man, how he got that gig, and sort of it was literally Universal pulled him in after an upgrade, and he said that he was sort of expecting them to go, oh, we're hoping that they pulled him in to say, oh, I really loved Upgrade and all this sort of stuff, but they pulled him in, talked about Upgrade, then talked about the weather, and we were just chatting. And then they got on to Universal Monsters and this take, and he just went just off the cuff. He wasn't just chatting about it because they were talking about the Mummy not doing well and all this sort of stuff, and then how are you supposed to do the Invisible Man as a hero and all this sort of stuff. And he just went, I don't know. Well, why don't you just make him why would you just make him the villain? I would expect him to be the villain, the one that's creepy watching. That's all he said in that initial meeting, and they said, and his agent rang him up the next day and went, they loved your take on the Invisible Man. He's like, what?
Mate, he just Kevin Baconed it, mate.
Yeah, big time. It's great. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the Wolfman. I am. I don't want to because I don't want to be let down, but fuck it. I'm in. So we'll see. I like Lee one now, so we're hoping for good things for that. Cool. Okay. Well, let's get on to our movie from the vault.
Conjoined twins called Siamese challenge life at their first breath. Some twins have been separated and lead normal lives. Others never can. Sisters. They were once one in body and perhaps one in mind. Danielle and Dominique. One loving, one hating, one innocent, the other... Where does Danielle end and Dominique begin?
It's okay. No, I can't remember.
Go back, try. Remember.
He's a freak!
Freak.
He's a freak!
Sisters. Rated R.
Okay, so this week's movie from the vault was my pick, and I picked from 1973. Brian De Palma directed, obviously who directed the wonderful Scarface, amongst other things, and The Untouchables, which is a favourite of mine. So quick synopsis, starring Margot Kidder, the Staten Island apartment of a lovely model, Danielle, becomes the scene of a grisly murder that is witnessed by her neighbour, Grace, a reporter. But the police don't believe her story, so it's up to Grace to solve the murder mystery on her own. So, lads, what did you think of this one?
Can I go first on this?
Sure.
I'm going to be honest, mate. I did not like this at all. At all. I absolutely loved it. Fucking awesome. Absolutely brilliant. I literally, I know I say this quite a lot, but when you see a film come along that I was just completely transfixed on the whole way through, I mean, Margot Kidder, fucking absolutely phenomenal. And the way it's shot and stuff, obviously, with that's his signature kind of split screen thing, which is unbelievable. I just absolutely was just like completely captivated in this movie. And I did not know what the fuck was happening. And it was just like, this is crazy. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Butch?
Butch? I don't know where you fucking pulled this kind of stuff out. But yeah, I'm with Matt. It fucking, I couldn't tear my eyes off the thing. It was just shot so well. It was a really, really, really good movie that I didn't know existed. And like, it was genuinely creepy. I loved the mystery of it all. Yeah, I mean, Margot Kidder is gorgeous, and it was creepy and weird, and I can see nods that, like, I can see movies that have taken stuff from it, which is quite interesting.
I saw Substance in there as well.
I saw Malignant.
Yeah.
In there, I saw, it was just fucking crazy. It's like this, almost like, when they talk about Citizen Kane being like this movie that everyone steals stuff to, this is sort of almost like another Blueprint movie.
Yeah, but how have we not come across this before?
I know who Brian De Palma is. I've seen some of his shit. How have I not seen this? And I like Margot Kidder. I've seen her in a few bits. This is bonkers that maybe the title.
One of the best films ever made, Black Christmas. But anyway, what I don't understand is, like, how have I not seen this in people's top tens and things like this? And, like, I'll be honest, I looked at the poster when, like, you picked it, Paul, and I wasn't confident. I didn't know, for straight away, I didn't know Margot Kidder was in it. Then when I went onto the thumbnail on because we watched it, what was it, on Shudder? And I was like, what is this? I was like, I don't know about this.
The visual appeal was not there. Agreed.
No. And then as it started, I was like, this is interesting. Where's this going? And then I was like, fucking hell. I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm in. Sorry, Geordie Paul. Like,
well, I'm enjoying it.
Have you seen it before?
I've never seen it before. So again, kudos to my friend Colin, who put this in my sort of general sort of atmosphere a couple of years ago. Just asked me about it because I'd never seen it, and he actually owned it and was going to lend me it, and I just never got around to it. And then it appeared on Shudder before Christmas, and I'll have to remember that because it's supposed to be really good. I mean, I'm surprised. I'm pleasantly surprised by your reaction, guys. To be fair, because I thought we were going to straddle the lines of, is this really a horror film, or is it more of a thriller, or does it belong in the kind of our wheelhouse? But it's interesting, Paul, like you say, that it's a blueprint movie, because actually it's his like homage to Hitchcock.
Yeah, totally.
So he stole a lot of stuff to make this film, but obviously with a slant on it, and obviously then springboarded other people to do pretty similar stuff or take themes and tropes from this film. But yeah, it kind of had a bit of everything, didn't it? It kind of had, suspense, mystery, bit of gore, bit of craziness, great acting performances. I mean, what I'm going to say, I love all that split screen stuff. I just think it's such a clever way of ramping up tension for like people walking through buildings and like trying to get rid of a body when the police are coming, that type of thing. Which I thought, how the fuck are they going to clean that up by the time they get there? Yeah, when the big blood stain on the back of the stairs.
Bit of Ajax on the floor, a little bit of window lean on the window.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ. Roll him up in the bed. That was amazing. When they rolled the corpse up in the bed.
That looked far too easy a way to describe the body, by the way.
The cushions slid in there real well.
But it had sort of a bit of a weirdness to it as well, which was kind of beautiful, because like the detective and the so-called journalist who was brought into it, there's a real sort of, I don't know, like almost like I want to say buddy copness to it as well, like her going down that route of doing the investigation and stuff like that, and really sort of looking into it, and because the cops won't take her seriously because she's shat on him basically in columns. But the detective was fucking great, and like he was so short-lived. That whole scene of him being in the flat and her playing that role where she wanted to be so involved that she was just like, oh, I'm supposed to do a wave, and she does the most over-the-top sort of like waves and stuff like that. To the end credits of him still looking at the sofa from being, I'm like, is he real? Is this real? What is real? There's a lot of questions about it.
You jumped well ahead there, mate.
I know, but it kind of fit with my thought process.
Because we really haven't even spoke about the kind of crux of the story here. We've got this, which was crazy, this kind of crazy TV show called Peeping Tom. Which was amazing. It's like, is he a pervert or is he not? Which then you get these obviously characters that are in the show that meet up afterwards, and which is again weird. And like she wins some steak knives and he wins a meal for two at some crazy restaurant.
African land.
Yeah. And you think, oh, it's just a normal date. It's like a normal couple, and she, he goes back to hers for coffee. And he meets her crazy supposed ex-husband that doesn't leave her alone. But he manages to kind of like get rid of him by making it look like he's left and gone home, but he actually just goes round the block.
So he can get laid. Nothing wrong with
that. He put the time and the effort in, didn't he?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. This is Margot Kidder. You ain't going to fuck around, mate.
I did enjoy the little dig at Staten Island as well. Not being part.
You don't live in New York. Oh, Staten Island. But yeah, and then you get this kind of thing where he's like got a relationship going with her, and then like he overhears her talking to her sister. But he's a really nice guy. I think he thinks I'm going to go get a breakfast, and it's her birthday, so I'm going to get a nice birthday cake. Ooh. Birthday cake made for her.
What a nice guy on the first date, to get her a birthday cake.
Yeah, and for her sister.
Yeah, and for her sister, yeah. And this one's a keeper. And, goes back and gets stabbed in the face.
Yeah, because she hasn't taken her pills. Right, so this is where I've got questions. Okay? So, Dominique's died or been killed or something's happened to her before, or is she like, because at first when I was watching it, I was like, is this a malignant thing? Because is she just like the pills bring out the other twin? Or was she always the twin? Was there no twin? Because there's a big fucking scar. But like what? What was your interpretation of that?
So supposedly she has a Siamese twin. Is that right? Conjoined twin. Sorry, can't say Siamese. So supposedly she has a conjoined twin that she's been separated from, and we are to believe that she is still alive. However, it looks like she's not. And is it a psychotic stage of like the pills suppressing that, or what's going on?
Well, I mean, so obviously, just it kind of gets explained towards the end. So you have this Grace who witnesses. Is it Phil? Is it Phil Wood? That's what he's called.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Phil's kind of like trying to fight for his life. Managed to sort of scribble help in blood on the window, and then she sees it, and then, like you said, she kind of like tries to enlist the cops. They believe her basically, and she then takes it upon herself. And anyway, she ends up at a mental hospital where Matey Boy works as a doctor, and I thought that was really crafty. He was such a git because he convinces the orderlies that she's a mental patient, which I thought was really clever of him. And she's like, my name's not Margaret, it's Grace. Like, now come on, Margaret, we'll just get you sedated.
Yeah.
And then kind of uses her sedation to explain, like, essentially what's going on. So
that's scary though, because that sort of shit could have happened in them days,
Yeah.
Like,
so, I mean,
if you didn't have if you didn't have some sort of identification on you, like she didn't, it's like, oh no, go back to your room. It's like, what? Now she's fucked.
Yeah, and like, to tell you what, the woman she meets in the hospital, the clean freak, she was terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Oh my God. But yeah,
I didn't understand. Sorry to cut you off there. I didn't understand where they were. I didn't realise that this was the hospital when it got there, and I was just like, why would somebody just let you walk in there and use their phone? And then I realised what it was.
Yeah,
that guy wasn't cutting any.
He wasn't cutting anything with
yeah. I thought it was just a nosy neighbour or something.
Yeah. But, so it kind of gets explained that, so Dominique was her twin, her conjoined twin, and they lived till adulthood. And obviously, Dominique was the one who was like, a bit crazy and a bit like didn't want a bit of anybody. And the doctor was kind of in love with Danielle.
Yeah.
And then
she just wanted to have lots of sex.
Well, they drugged Dominique.
Yes.
Like so they could get frisky. And and then she got pregnant, and then Dominique found out and stabbed her in the stomach.
Yeah. Which is then what happened. So then basically the doctor then decided that Dominique had to go, and that operation basically killed her.
Yeah, because it's pretty freaky, because they obviously do this with the Report of Grace. They put her in this like hallucinate sort of state.
Insane.
Yeah, because it made me start thinking, oh, hang on, is she Grace actually Dominique, or what the fuck is?
That's what I thought. I thought she was going to lift up her shirt and there'd be a nasty big scar there or something.
Yeah.
Like, but how can they get around that? I was like, surely she would know. But it was really clever what I really liked in that dream, kind of weird, freaky trip of a bit, was that all the people were there that she's met along the way, which was crazy. It's just really clever, and it's like, are they all in on it? It's just like, oh my God, are these people all in? It was like an episode of The Prisoner where they're like, everybody's in on it. It's just like crazy.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
And then obviously so he's basically done away with her, but it's caused this like mental break in Danielle, whereby she's like essentially psychologically stored her in her head because the bond's that big, and she comes out when there's obviously moments of sexual activity with Danielle. So
that's almost like a guilt thing.
Yeah, essentially, because she died because she wanted to have her way with her husband. But it was all, to be honest, it was the doctor's all manipulation of her and the fascination of her.
So he's a creepy looking guy anyway. She was quite smoking, really.
So he essentially like hypnotized her though, didn't he? Like to kind of make her think that nothing's bad, he's okay. So Grace, the reporter, kind of just like fends for them and like doesn't want to really dob them in, even though she was stabbed.
Well, she was still under the sort of the hallucination, I think, still under that. So because he didn't want to obviously go to jail or whatever. So there's that, and then obviously no one can find the body, and that's when it cuts to him looking at this fucking sofa by this train
private investigation.
But it wasn't really explained that well. It just cut to him and it ended. I was like,
well,
what?
You see, obviously in the middle, you see that she's gone to another firm and wants to sell the story, but they're like, the deal is we're going to send you a private investigator to work with you, but he's got to be running it. So he was really putting his foot down with her and stuff, and it was just kind of bumbling idiot. You think, oh, he's going to be an idiot, but actually he knew what the fuck he was doing. So he just followed off and followed where the sofa was being delivered, and then you just don't hear nothing from him. And it kind of splits to him in a diner where he's waiting outside the diner, and then they get back in the truck, and then that's it. You don't hear of him again. And it's just like, this guy needs to make a fucking phone call, or he just needs to go, there's a dead body in the fucking couch. Just look in there.
But it's in Canada now, isn't it? So
yeah.
Well, also, another thing I'd question I have is they were supposed to be Canada's first conjoined twins, right? Where's her accent from? The French-Canadian side, is it?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
She does explain that in the restaurant.
Right, fine.
Because I thought, oh no, it's like, is she going to have like is this an alter ego? Is she going to suddenly turn? I didn't know like Margaret Kidder was going to keep that on the whole film, but she did. Fair play.
Yeah, so really good pick.
Pissed me off though, the ending. It really did. I was just like, I'm
glad I
cliffhanger.
Another pick smashed out the park. Woohoo!
Also, I quite liked when the kind of like policeman turned up. He turns up with the other guy that just doesn't speak. He's literally doesn't say a word. Just keeps making facial expressions and shrugs. I was like, why are you even there?
I think that's very Hitchcock, though.
Right.
Okay. All that main detective. It can't, like, along the lines of Giallo as well, where you're like, it's like main detective and just like, there's a lot. I mean, it was scored by, I can't remember his name, but it was scored by the regular scorer of Hitchcock films as well. So like all that real thing, shrieking sound effects to keep you off guard,
The stab was quite full on.
Yeah.
Stabs him in the thigh and then straight in the face. Oh, straight in the middle of the face.
Yeah,
like, a weird place to stab someone. Through the teeth and the... Yeah. Oh.
Really messy and really well done.
It was messy, wasn't it? And it was like so much blood everywhere. I was like... Well, and we didn't even talk about the bit where the crazy doctor slips in the blood and smashes his head on the floor.
Oh, yeah. Or the bit where she comes in with the key to prove it, just drops it on the floor.
Oh, yeah. I've got the cake.
Yeah.
She could have really used the bakery a little bit more in this. Kind of like, witnesses and stuff like that. But there you go.
Yeah, I like that little comedy bit where he wants me to do the icing. Well, it's quite funny.
Yeah. It's a really interesting movie. What about some Matt's facts? Have you got much going on with this?
I've got a couple, yeah. I mean, there wasn't loads and loads, but I have got a couple. So, Brian De Palma said that the film's producer doubted anyone could be stuffed into a sofa bed, but the director recalls, I shot it in one shot to show that you can, in fact, fit somebody into a sofa bed. And it did. He literally rolled in there so neat. Margot Kidder and Jennifer Salt were roommates in Southern California in the early 1970s. While they were struggling performers, they had parties for their friends and neighbours, who included Paul Schrader, Blythe Danner, Bruce Paltrow, and Brian De Palma. One year, at Christmas, Kidder and Salt opened separate boxes under their Christmas tree, and each one contained the script to this film, and the project was De Palma's gift to them. Jennifer Salt and her real-life mother, Mary Davenport, portray mother and daughter in this screen, so they were actually real-life mother and daughter, which was quite interesting. Brian De Palma was inspired to make the film after he read the article about a set of conjoined twins, Masha Krivolanskapova and Dasha Krivolanskapova. I don't know why I just said that. It's probably murdered it. In the Soviet Union, who were successfully separated after an operation, De Palma said he was haunted by a photograph in which one twin looked cheerful and healthy while the other looked surly and disturbed. The article went on to discuss the twins' psychological problems after their separation, which was really interesting because you really get that from the picture and the poster. And that's something that we didn't talk about, which was really interesting, was a lot of the scenes in the hospital and stuff where they were showing them kind of in this hospital situation where they were getting tested and stuff like that. It does show the kind of relationship between the twins. And I thought that's really clever to do that and how they did it. I know you've got to think about the time it's filmed. It's quite clever when they did it. So hats off to them for that. Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was really, really good. I'd definitely watch it again as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Cool. So what do you want to rate?
See Margot Kidder as like a sort of scream queen almost as well. She's got some roles, hasn't she? Obviously being in Black Christmas, and was she in Amityville Horror as well?
She was, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, really, really fucking interesting.
What a gem. What a gem.
What a secret gem. How are we rating this one then? I'll go first. I'll give it, I think I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I was really quite impressed with this one.
Do you know what? I want to give it a 9 because I want to own this film. I want to own it, and that to me makes me think I want to watch it again. Therefore, I think I'm going to have to give it a 9.
Awesome. Well, I think I'm going to go in with Butch. I'm going to give it an 8. I thought it was really strong, really strong film. So yeah, no, I'm really glad, really pleased because I wasn't too sure when I picked it, but I'm kind of glad stoked you liked it. So yeah, 8 out of 10 from me.
Lovely job. Right, Matt, it's your pick now for the next episode. What have you got?
I've been toying for this one for a little while. And it's a movie from 2000s. Is that okay with you boys?
Okay.
Okay, so this movie has got one coming out this year. So I thought we could go revisit this one. And we are going to be watching Final Destination.
Oh, shit, okay. I do know for a split second there, I thought you were going to say I Know What You Did Last Summer, but that is 90s, isn't it? So, right.
Just as I'm due on a friggin' flight next week. Thanks, Matt.
Just don't watch it before then, mate. Just leave that one till after. Or, depends how you feel. If you're feeling brave. Mate, yeah.
I've only ever seen this once from Blockbuster when it first came out, so that's
I think I've only ever seen it once, I think.
I watched it a few times. I've watched obviously a couple of them quite recently as well, the sequels as well, so they're kind of fresh. I might let the family watch this one. We might watch this as a family. I remember it being, there's some pretty interesting bits in it. But yeah, I think it should be cool. That's a good pick. Yeah.
In between your rock bottoms and your spandex and your turnbuckles.
Where can we watch this one?
God knows, I didn't check. Sorry. I thought you would have had it, Butch.
I don't know if I do. I might do.
I really thought you had. It's not going to be expensive though, is it?
That is episode 172 done. Thanks very much for everyone for listening. If you'd like to recommend us a movie to watch, especially on Tubi at the moment, because I'm going to start going through that catalogue and there's some trash on there. If you want to see hear me suffer,
Stop it! You love it, man.
I mean, there's some awful movies on there. People start recommending that would be interesting. Get in touch with our social medias on the end.
Or send us an email.
Yeah, send us an email, old-fashioned email. I love that. Moving on to episode 173, we'll be watching Lee Whannell's Wolfman. We'll be coming back fresh and strong with some more discussions in our Something to Scream About. And our move from the vault, Matt has picked Final Destination. Lovely job. And there's only one more thing to say. When there's no more room in hell, here's another podcast.
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
You can follow us on Twitter @DrawOneLast, Instagram @DrawOneLastBreath, or pop us an email at drawnelastbreathpod@hotmail.com.